Give you guys some time to get in. Hey. Good morning. Giving everyone some time to jump over. And excuse me that my screen is over here. I'll try and talk into the camera as much as possible, but to see your comments and everything, I have a really cool new work table, floating table setup that you guys, my Patreon supporters, helped me get. Thank you so much, guys. Eric and Emily, thank you so much. My voice is actually a little bit tortured right now. I'm kind of fighting, I think, being sick, but I'm not super sure. I definitely have some stuff going on. It was a hard night. Good morning. Kathy, hey, how are you doing? Awesome. I'm just gonna let some people kind of, come in because it looks like that other stream. God, I just can't believe how much trouble YouTube has been. I know like little kids use it, but sometimes, kids and, people that are just born into this kind of like insanely weird, complex world of streaming and everything. Sometimes they're better at this stuff than old people like me, but I like to think that we're pretty good at it, but YouTube has been consistently difficult to use. So yesterday, this gets into a little bit of what I want to, chat with everyone about. Thank you, Shuji. Thank you. Since Sonic Heroes. So it gets into a little bit of what I want to chat about, and that is trying to figure out how to make my days more productive and better, and our days more productive and better. How to make life, more awesome, which is like a huge area subject for me. So I tried to set this event. I decided, hey, why sit in my office and work? Why be in my studio and work? Why not get on my motorcycle and go somewhere and just try and do all this work from my phone? Like just to get out and go do something and mix a little business with pleasure. And so I went and I used my phone to set up this event, and I completely successfully, I got into the Julien-K account, set up the event for, today, and added a picture, did all the cool photoshopping, all the shit that we do to make things look cool. And I then got on my computer here, got into the account, and what do you know? Again, the event is not there. So I go, okay, no problem. I'm not going to freak out. I get up early and I get prepared for all these things, and then I fucking create a new event. No problem. I have it ready to go, and then I hit live 1 minute late, and then there's no chat, and it's just fucking insane. And I'm on Google Chrome, doing everything the right way, but yeah, it's so crazy. Yeah, YouTube it's a struggle. So I really, really hope that I can meet someone in town that uses YouTube really effectively. I just don't know who to talk to. Maybe they can give me a run through, because we watch all the videos and all kind of stuff, and it's just such a fucking pain in the ass. Just so lame. So yeah, greetings, Germany, Japan. That's incredible. Wow. Super cool. So guys, what are we doing here today? Wake the fuck up with Ryan. Today is Caitlin's birthday. So when I make a post for her birthday, if everyone can please chime in and tell her happy birthday and everything, that'll be super cute. But I'm here this morning because Wake the Fuck Up with Ryan is one of our exclusive Patreon events. And sometimes I make them public because I just kind of play around with showing people what we do privately for Patreon. A lot of times what we do is these sessions are, they're Zoom sessions. So people can talk to me in real time with, video, face to face. And we do song breakdowns. We do, educational kind of masterclass breakdowns on how we do what we do. A lot of it is kind of educational and sharing stuff that isn't out yet, and just kind of really letting people into our world. And we have a pretty cool video set up and in the studio and out here and everything. So we're able to do basically a lot of incredible content that we just wouldn't have been able to do years ago. So COVID kind of forced us to think of new things, and thank God our fans and supporters and friends have come to our rescue. And I think this is something that we'll keep doing forever, as long as we have cool content, reasons to do it, and the people that love our music want to support us. So you're getting this for free this time, but if you guys like it and it's fun, go over to Patreon and support us on Patreon. We do really cool events every weekend. So what the fuck are we doing today? I'm doing a little idea that I call best week ever. It is basically an obsession of mine. And that is, basically, lifestyle design, experimentation, looking at my life and my days and how I spend my days, and, trying to look at it and go, just because everyone else does one thing doesn't mean that I have to do that. And just because I get caught in a rut doesn't mean I have to stay in a rut. And, I just try to figure out all the time. I'm always trying to do deep thinking about how to make every day an amazing day and every week an amazing week. And I had like the best week ever 2 weeks ago. It's the best week ever. And I experiment all the time. And I don't know, am I the only one that does this? Am I the only one that breaks down their day with like little colored fucking, pieces? Am I the only one that, works with like a really, really detailed calendar so that I can really make my day and my week actually work, and I can get a bunch of the things done that I really want to get done? And that doesn't mean just work. It means, how do I actually build in free time and fun? So that would be like these little green pieces would be assuming that I work 9 hours a day, and also assuming that I get a full 8 hours of sleep. So once again, you guys see that I do weird shit. I go in and I visualize like what it looks like if I'm doing 9 hours of work, 6 hours of like time where I can do what I want to do, and then I sleep for 8 hours. And you look at it, and to me, it like helps me kind of visualize what in the fuck am I doing with my life. And then I can also get down in my calendar and I can utilize these giant open spaces and try to figure out what's going on. I don't try to put blocks in every single hour. I think that's fucking crazy. It does end up like that though a lot. But all of it for me is to try to figure out, what if I was really rich? What if I had unlimited money? That was no obstacle. What the fuck would I do with my day? What would you do with your day? I mean, I'm seriously asking you, please chime in. Like, what in the fuck would you do with your day? And it's funny, Shuji Toshima, LOL, I don't have the patience for that kind of calendar. Yeah, I hear you. The thing is, Shuji, I can't get the shit done that I want to get done. And I don't mean just work. I mean sleep, all the music that I'm working on, and do the things that I love, like jujitsu and work out and ride my motorcycle and see friends. I can't get it done because I'm a busy person. I have a lot of things going on. I can't get it done without organizing it. So I think one of the problems that a lot of people face in life was that Shuji just made the perfect example. He doesn't have patience for that. I'd be really curious what you do with your day. What do you do? Do you go to a job for 8 hours and then do your job and then afterwards kind of just don't know what you do? Maybe you're super productive. I have no idea. For me, I'm a self-employed lifestyle entrepreneur, artist, and musician. So the only way I get paid and the only way things happen and the only way I stay in shape and the only way this house exists is if I fucking sit down and think about how I'm going to operate, how I'm going to do my week, how I'm going to schedule my month. For example, how do you go on tour for 30 fucking days and still have, 4 restaurants and operated 2 bands and all of this stuff that I love, right? And have a relationship and manage a doggy and have friends and ride a motorcycle and try to get another stripe in jiu-jitsu and try to work out as many days as you can so that you feel good, so that you can do all the things that you love. How the fuck do you do it? And I'm looking for people telling me, how do you do it? And it's really funny. Let's see, I take things day by day. Sometimes it doesn't help. Yeah, Sean, it's an interesting thing. And I used to do that too. But it's kind of funny, I think, that I love Shuji's comment. I love it. I love it because it's exactly why I thought about doing this and talking to you guys about it. And Sean's comment was amazing too, because he said, I take it day by day. And I totally get that. And sometimes it doesn't work out. And I think Sean's actually onto something. But I personally keep track of stuff and analyze things so that I can try to figure out what worked and what didn't work. You know what I mean? Like the week before this, I had a fucking terrible week. Well, I can actually look back and go, what the fuck did I do? Like, how did I have such a shitty week? Why was I so stressed? What is it that I did? How come the week after I had an incredible week? Well, what the fuck is it? What did I do? So I think that you can have better and better life if you actually spend some time on your fucking life. You know what I'm saying? It's an interesting thing to me when people say they don't sit down and analyze what they're doing and think about what they're doing. And I actually try to make it fun. I actually try to make it, the more thought I can put into sitting down and figuring out what the fuck I'm doing with myself. Because there's a lot of times where I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I just spin my wheels for hours. And I'm sure some of you do, because, we're all human beings and we all do, silly shit. We all get caught on our phones, on Instagram or whatever I think I'm doing social media posts for business, and I am. And then I end up just scrolling and I don't even know what I'm looking at, so I really want to try to allow myself to do that and don't kick myself, but I really, really, really want to think about what the fuck am I doing? What am I fucking spending my time on doing? Because I have music that I want to get out and share with you guys. I have personal goals. Like I want to stay fit. I want to stay in shape. Do I love working out? No. But do I have to make it fun and interesting? Do I have to add physical things into my life so that I can continue to go on tour and do the things I love and ride motorcycles and hang out with my nephew and my girlfriend, all that kind of stuff? Yeah. Yes. Else you can't kick ass in life. So I do some funny things and I'll talk to you guys about this. And maybe, this is Wake the Fuck Up with Ryan. This is my lifestyle design, personal little show that I get to share with you guys. So we get to take a walk into my brain and figure out if I had unlimited money and none of that was an object, what the fuck would that even change? What would it change in your life? Like, what do you do with your fucking day? Seriously. Because I kind of figured out that perfect, it doesn't always work out, but the perfect amount of sleep for me typically, this is so fucking mundane, is 8 hours. I still have 24 hours here, okay? But 8 hours seems to actually be, and I've tested it, yes. I test it and I keep track. So, on tour, I sleep about 4 hours. And that's just the way it is because we're so busy. But when I'm home, to have a good day, I don't start feeling tired in the middle of the day. When I sit back and close my eyes for a second, I don't nearly fall asleep, which I do sometimes if I sleep 6 hours or 4 hours a night. But in a perfect day, in a healthy life, not when I'm drinking. By the way, when you're drinking and doing all this kind of stuff, this stuff just really goes out the window because the drinking fucks it all up. I used to go, well, fuck, we have all these projects, all this stuff going on, all these things I want to accomplish. Well, I can just not sleep. I don't need to sleep. I can leave my phone on next to my pillow, which I used to do, and answer it all night long from all over the world, because of business emergencies and shit. So that's what happens when you get a lot going on and you don't actually think about what the fuck you're doing. Now I know, for me to be happy, the opportune thing for me, embarrassing as it used to be, is that I need 8 hours of sleep. So that's 8 of my 24 hours out of the day. That's 8. There you go. So that's 8. That's gone. So let's say I work 9 hours. 9 actual hours of work. That's kind of a lot out of your fucking day. I have these green as kind of like things that I want to do time. So I use my calendar and I basically put the most important stuff. It can be green or blue, but I put the most important things. So my perfect week, I decided, whether I had unlimited money, I could go anywhere I want, all this kind of stuff, live in whatever house I want and drive whatever car I want. By the way, crazy as I am, there's no joy in a car for me. I don't even have a fucking car. I got rid of my car, my truck. I just rent a motorcycle. I don't even have a fucking car anymore. And this is the crazy shit you do when you start thinking about breaking your life down and figuring out what the fuck makes you happy. Crazy stuff. So I just try to think like, fuck money, fuck everything. How can I do the things that I want to do and get the things done that I want to get done? So let's just say I have a whole 9 hours for work, and then I have a whole 6 hours to do whatever I want to do and have fun. It changes things, right? When you think about it, 9 hours is a lot. You can get a lot done. And if you use a calendar and schedule it, you can actually look like on my perfect week. I decided that I wanted to do something physical every day, workout or jujitsu. So something physical every day. So that's, that would be like something I want to do. That'd be 2 hours. But I think that when you actually add in, going to and fro and showering and everything, it's at least another hour. Yes, I've timed it all. So that's at least 3 hours if I were to do jujitsu and like yoga in a day. If I was to do, for example, there's some stuff that I do, like if you want to go do jujitsu, if you want to work out, all that costs money if you go to like a trainer or go to a jujitsu like school, right? So I do all sorts of stuff. Like I volunteer on Wednesdays to help some kids learn how to train and work out and everything. And then I get another kind of workout. I get to do the whole workout with them. So I get like a free workout. So I save money, all that kind of stuff. I try to figure out all these cool things where I can help people and then also do something kind of cool for me too. But, I find that the physical stuff takes, if I do it all like I did this week, it takes about 3 hours because there's at least 30 minutes going to and fro and showering, all that kind of stuff. Sometimes, if you really analyze it, there might even be a full 4 hours. So you still got a whole fucking 3 hours of time to fuck around. What could you do in 3 fucking full hours? A lot. I mean, I could go on a full-on motorcycle ride, like full on. But the reality is, so that's 3 full fucking hours. And again, all of this for me is just visualizing. I'm just trying to like figure out, what in the fuck am I doing? What in the fuck am I doing? And then I'll walk through like that perfect week that I had. So I got 9 hours of work. Woo! That's a lot. That's a lot. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of hours. So what I find out is that in the morning, I get up really early. I build in a solid 2 hours. I got up 2 hours before doing this easily because I need that time to do the shit that, no one bothers me. My phone typically isn't ringing before, 7 a.m. I take that as time. Literally, it's coffee and I walk my dog and I actually sit down and I try not to get really worky, but I prep my day, I meditate, pray, whatever the fuck it is that I need to do. But by the time you see me at 8 a.m. or whenever it is that you're going to be seeing me in my day, I've already kind of had time. So if I had to get up, if I didn't be at work at 7 a.m., no shit, I would get up at 5 a.m. Some people just roll out of bed and they just do their thing, throw shit on and go. I do not. Not even for fucking Patreon. Not even for fucking Patreon. So I don't do that. I just don't do it. So I get up 2 hours before I go do something. And then, you know what? I take a good solid hour, if I'm lucky, and I'll do my workout at like 9, or 9:30 a.m. and get out. So that's like my first, I've slept 8 hours, perfect scenario. I did a bunch of shit for myself in the morning. Spent my whole fucking morning doing shit for me. And I just get up before everyone else because fuck them. Then guilt-free and pretty much in a good mood. Let's say, like I said, I'm self-employed. You guys can apply this to your own thing. I build my own, days. This is one of the reasons why I like to work for myself and do my own business. Even if it means I'm here Sunday morning at 8 a.m. or 8:30 a.m. with the people that I actually love. But then I just take a big old chunk. I just sit down and I crush for 3 hours at my computer. Like I just dive in. And one thing I've learned, see, I have these kind of open spaces here in my calendar. Can you guys see that? I have these open spaces. That's Monday. Monday for me is like the shit flies in. So I have to be ready like a fucking, net for Monday. So I got to get up early. I got to get this personal stuff done. Look at all the fucking hours I took for me. Look at that, 8, 9, 10, 11 fucking hours I just had for me. Fuck everyone. And then I'm learning, now that I'm sober, actually, it's kind of funny, and through meditation, all these cool things, and we'll talk about all this stuff on other Wake the Fuck Up programs. I'm learning, now that I've learned to be more present, now that I've learned to think about my life a little bit more, I've learned that I can get stuff done even if I totally don't always know what I need to do. Like, for example, I have an edema checklist and there's 15 fucking items on it. I have a Julien-K checklist and there's 15 items on it. And I have restaurant checklists. And then I have, even have a grocery fucking list, right? You have all this stuff. Some of the edema and Julien-K stuff, some of them are a lot. So when one of those checks is do all the tour accounting, that could be 3 or more hours of work at a spreadsheet, right? So what I'm learning is that all I need to do is sit down and have space and then fucking focus and handle the shit. But I can't do that because I'm too crazy unless I really deal with all my other shit. So to answer Shuji, like I wouldn't fucking be able to do anything if I didn't think about dealing with all my shit first. I wouldn't be able to focus. I wouldn't be able to get work done. I wouldn't be able to get the things that I want to get done. So we take like 3 hours of crushing. Let's say it's a nutty day. Sometimes it can go like this. Sometimes it's just, that's a full day, right? But in my perfect world, like I did here, I would then add, there's a full hour that I take for, then I stop and I do lunch and I turn on music that I want to hear or whatever, right? So kind of starting to look at my day starting to shape up here. So full hour for lunch. And I already know kind of in the evening, I want the evening, I'm very selfish. I want the evening to be more shit that I want to do for me. Fucking selfish guy. So you can see I've already built in all this prep. I've worked out everything. I've had like 2 hours in the morning to myself. I've slept for fucking 8 hours. Maybe it's a little less. Maybe I only slept for 5, whatever, because I had early calls or whatever. But you can see that once you kind of get this going on, this pattern going on, you start not feeling so overwhelmed. You start figuring out what you want to do and how you're going to do it. So then I still have all this of work. Oh my God, that's 6 fucking hours of work. I don't even know if I want to do that. But it's Monday. It's available. What I find though, when I think about things, a lot of times I find, this is going to be kind of embarrassing. A lot of times I find that, 7 hours here, 7, is enough because I've dealt with shit. I've organized my shit. Took care of myself first. So I can get into, a full day of work, managing my own shit. And then I can maybe I can take, maybe this can be for me as well in the evening. Now, again, this could be used for work. And there's one, I only had 3 colors. And you kind of figure out where does music fit in. So here we could go to jujitsu, which, if you have an hour jujitsu class, you're a fucking ding dong if you think it's only an hour. It's 2 hours. It's a half hour to get there, half hour to get back. and somehow you got to shower too. Maybe it's 2.5 hours. You got to really think about how long things are, right? So now you got 3 more hours, right, of like legit time because you've got like 8 hours of sleep, right? So where does music come in? So somehow during the week, you've got to, I wish that there was like red or something, right? So I did a bunch of stuff for myself. Where did I hang out with anyone? Where did I spend time with my person? Where did I do this other stuff that I want to do, right? Where did I hang out with my nephew? Where did I hang out with my family? So you can kind of see, if you really visualize, let's just pretend these are kind of red, where it might be hanging with people. For me, it might be, in the evening, now that I've done all this cool stuff, I pretty much had a perfect day. Slept 8 hours, fucking had 2 hours to myself in the morning. And 2 hours to myself can be doing my journal. It can be doing a lot of this thinking, meditation, all this kind of stuff. I will challenge anyone to tell me that if you tried meditating for 2 months every morning for even 10 minutes, I dare you to tell me that all of your entire life doesn't get better, because it will. And I dare you to tell me that you're not still a deadly person. You are. It just really helps you be present and think about stuff in a really cool way. So we had these like 5 solid fucking hours, and I knocked out a lot of stuff. I did 2 solid hours of like cool physical stuff. Took a full-on hour-long break. I had 7 solid hours of work. Why are they solid? Because I'm completely undistracted. I already handled my shit. I did my shit. I built in tons of time to kind of do my shit. And by the way, I consider work sometimes paying my own bills. I consider work organizing some of my own life. I consider work going to our warehouse for Julien-K and working on that stuff. I don't consider that. That's not like leisure time for me. It's fucking business. I would even consider work going in the studio. So again, I wish I had like red, because some of it is like, some of the work that I do is work that I want to do. Working on the band, even doing the spreadsheets, doing the accounting, doing the administrative stuff behind doing all this. Sometimes it's still actually stuff I want to do. And even doing the promo and all this kind of stuff that I used to complain about. I used to really complain about it, because you have to sit down. For example, I have on Monday here. I have last Monday set Edema premieres for the live show that we've been premiering on YouTube. Every single one of those fucking premieres that I set, every one of those premieres has a bunch of posts, stories attached to them. You have to go into every premiere, write a fucking description, do the whole thing, set the premiere, check it, because it's YouTube and you don't know if it's going to automatically accidentally choose AM versus PM if you don't save it in the right part of the process. It's so frustrating. But anyways, you've got to sit down and do it, and you've got to focus. You've got to go, I've got to do this. I've got to make this post. I've got to let people know this way. I've got to post on these different, all these different platforms. All of them have to be organic posts. So the people that think that like social media people and musicians and artists and anyone that's running a business where you do social media and you have to use all this stuff, like it isn't work. People that do YouTube or whatever it is, you are high. It's a ton of work. And if you don't treat it like work and make like a good chunk of time here, all the time that you spent making music, let's pretend these are red. I wish I should have painted them red. Is all for nothing, really, because if you don't tell people about what you're doing and try to market what you're doing, it's all bullshit, right? So even this, I think, is probably some form of marketing. So anyways, this is kind of how I start to think about my day. Now, of course, let's say I get 5 hours of music. I don't, by the way. Sometimes I get a good 2 solid hours of music. Solid hours in the studio. That's a lot, by the way. That's a lot for me, because I'm extremely distracted. I'm extremely unfocused. But I've, since getting sober, actually, and since really diving into my life, I've been able to focus harder than I've ever been able to focus. And that's why we have so much good stuff coming out. That's why stuff that we've been doing, from Your Lies Like Fire to the new Edema single, that's why all of it is so focused. The marketing is so good. The videos are so good. It's because I personally been able to do what I do way better, way better. So I still have another 3 hours here, even with 2 hours of music. And by that time, typically that would be my time that I spend with, family, Caitlin, Ever, if I get to see him, my brother, mom, dad, whatever. I get to see Amir a lot in here, but you can kind of see how I go. Some of it's winding down. Honestly, I take time to watch fucking shows. I like all the Marvel shows. I like fucking Succession, as you guys can see. I like The Bad Batch. I like, Disney, Star Wars, good movies. That all counts here. And I also consider that stuff all stuff that feeds my soul and inspires me, right? Because without it, I wouldn't have ideas. Like Orgy was born from Blade Runner and Star Trek and Star Wars and all these kinds of things. So I try to build it all in, but I think about it. What's measured is managed. So if you think about what you're doing and measure it, you're actually managing your life. You're actually thinking about what the fuck you're doing, which I think is a really, really powerful tool. So what else do I have here that I didn't talk about? No, I fucking did it. So what would make the best week ever for me? I write it down. Does anyone ever write down what actually is going to make your best week ever? I wrote down, and this is even if I had unlimited money. And the funny thing is I can do this without unlimited money. So I want to feel the best that I can feel. And I want to make sure that I don't have a migraine. Yeah, I suffer from really, really bad migraines. So there's other stuff that I have to do to make sure that I don't get a migraine, because that will fucking end me for 2 or 3 days. So I want to feel the best I can feel. That means I'm going to have to be working out and doing physical stuff, right? You have to do that stuff. So for me, and I think for almost anyone on earth, if you can do it every day, it's better. This bullshit where you work out a day or two a week and, you want to recover. Okay, you're high. Just work out, do stuff every day. You won't get sore anymore. Everything will work better. Trust me. Do it every day. Your body was made to be used. So for me, I want to feel my best. I don't want to get migraines. So not having migraines means a bunch of other stuff that I have to do. Okay, so that's just between me and me, right? Who cares? No one cares about fucking migraines. Get work off my plate, because that makes me less stressed. So Shuji, if I don't think about what I'm doing and deal with the shit that I don't want to do, some work I don't want to do. But if I don't get it done, I find that I'm miserable. I'm fucking unhappy and I'm stressed because I just leave it sitting. So I usually, I should have said this. These blue things, this work, because we know work for me, you guys know work bleeds in everywhere. These blue things are work that I typically don't want to do. Like it's work, getting shit done. Like you got to pay a bunch of bills. You got to call, some people that don't like you. Maybe it's some business shit. Maybe it's whatever it is. For me, it's almost always business. Uncomfortable things that don't make you comfortable. Filling out shit that you don't want to fill out. Like all of this is part of business. That's what I mean. Get it done so that I feel okay. Because I can't have fun. if I don't get that shit out of my life, right? So this feeds into what Sean is saying too. Like Sean, I focus on getting, if there's shit that I don't want to do, I pile it into right there in the middle, the first part of the day. After I take care of me, I dive into like, okay, now I don't want to do this. And I get that stuff done, because once you get it done, it's amazing. So I want to spend time with people I care about. I want to make progress on my music. I want to work out every day. I want to do jujitsu, and I want to ride my motorcycle. Even if I had unlimited money, I would still want to do that stuff every day. So why the fuck don't I do it? Why the fuck don't we do it? Like seriously, get unlimited money. What would you move? Go buy another house? Get a cooler car? Travel? Okay, cool. That's all like exciting, but is that really your life? Like, what do you do with all these fucking hours? Get a better bed? Think about it, guys. Literally think about it. You can do pretty much everything you want to do. I think anyone watching this is not homeless, right? You guys are all on computers probably, or on a smartphone that costs $1,000. So I think that if we can take anything away with the way that I'm thinking, is that I really think that when you measure things and you think about life, You care more about life. You love the thing that you spend time with and that you spend time thinking about and that you spend time doing. So keep in mind, if you want to love your life and you want to love yourself and you want to get the things done that you want to get done, you might want to sit down and actually think about your life and what you're doing with your fucking life, because we only have one and it gets away from us very quickly. So let's see what the hell you are saying, because I didn't even pay attention to you guys fucking, oh my God, these are the nicest comments. That is so fucking funny. You guys are the new metal Gary V. Oh my God, that was so fucking funny. I needed this. Yeah, this is all really, really good things. I've been trying to tackle uncomfortable things early in the day too. It helps manage the stress. Fuck yeah, brother. Good job. Do it. Just fucking build time for it. You notice though too, Antoine, that I put myself first, right? This is all me. Even laying in bed, sometimes I wake up less than 8 hours, of course. Well, guess what I do? I cuddle with my dog. I cuddle with Caitlin. I do, like, I'll lay in bed. I'll get on my phone, whatever it is. I don't like to be on my phone in bed, but I will. But that's all for me. And I still have 2 fucking hours and I'm going to go work out. Definitely need this now that I have a newborn. Oh, Christopher, man, I want to have kids. And I really think about this with kids, because I think what kids do is, and I think that part of the strategy that I would do if I had kids, and I do think about it because I think I will have kids sometime soon. I think you have to still think about what you're doing with your day, and then just know that it might look more like this. And you have to just go, this is a temporary time in your life, and you have to love it. And you have to be grateful because you have this awesome gift of this other new little person in your life. And I'm still really, maybe we'll talk about it when I have kids. We'll do another Wake the Fuck Up, and I'll hear from you, Christopher, about how things have worked for you and how it's working for me, and how my what seems like a perfect little system gets destroyed. Guys, keep in mind that all of these things that I do, it's just me trying to make my life work better. I'm not perfect. My systems aren't perfect. I don't have perfect days all the time. I don't have perfect weeks. But when I do have a perfect week, I like to figure out what I did right. Another little tip that I do, Sundays, when I nail a Sunday, I will take the last part of Sunday before I go to bed, and I'll sit down on my calendar and I'll actually plan out, and this is Shuji, I plan out what I want to do. What do I want to do? I put all that in my calendar first. So I know that Monday is going to be a big work day. I know where the blue is. I know that, Friday tends to get less busy for me. It just does. I have like one of those weird normal work weeks, even though I work on the weekends and stuff too. I try to keep the weekends more open so I can do stuff, go on a motorcycle ride, whatever it is. But Shuji, I put into my schedule what I want first. Because if I don't, work, 2 bands, 4 restaurants, and the responsibilities of all of it, it will take all of these 24 hours. Like, seriously, most people own 1 restaurant. Most artists, musicians are in 1 band and they tour and so on and so forth. So if I want to have an appetite this big, I better think. I better fucking think. If I want to do this much stuff and do a good job at it, I better fucking think. So that's kind of why I am so thoughtful about my life and what I do. And I had such a great week 2 weeks ago because I sat down first and I put in the things I want to do. So I added in workouts. I added in yoga because I always miss it, but it's really, really good. So I put it in first, and then I built work around all of that. So that's why this is powerful. So Shyla, you've been procrastinating so much on real estate. I have to take care of because I'm also grieving, so I want to avoid it. I just want to get it done and over with. Yeah. Hey, and grief also, Shyla, is something that you have to schedule. I did a bunch of grief therapy in rehab. And, it is something that you got to give yourself time to do it. So it might actually help to make time in your life for it, because it's not wrong. It's not bad, but give yourself some time. Hopefully that helps a little bit. Yeah. So random question. I don't know who Kathy Palatella is. That's a really random fucking question. I do not know, and I'm not sure that I thanked her. Maybe it was one of the other guys. Might want to ask them. Matthew, goddamn, I need to implement this. That's so funny. Right on. Seriously thinking of adapting this to my life. Yeah, Sean. I mean, like I said, it's just ideas. All I'm doing is sharing the things that work for me. I'm just sharing my journey with you guys, because you guys are my friends and you guys are my supporters and the people that I love. Let's see what else here. I get satisfaction crossing things off my list. Shuji, if I had unlimited money, I'd probably try a bunch of the creative ventures I've been wanting to do for a while. Also, probably I'd go buy a Lexus LC or BMW i8. Yeah, you're really funny. Yeah, so 2 expensive cars, which I'm utterly uninterested in, because a lot of it for me, I don't really want to show off how rich I am, or I don't know. To me, I don't want people to look at me like that, because I don't know why. Maybe it's just me. They don't add joy to my life, but I guess I could translate that into maybe I want a bigger motorcycle, but I don't want the bigger motorcycle to show people that I have an expensive motorcycle. And I'm not saying you do. I'm just using it as a chance to talk about stuff. I want a bigger motorcycle because I want to drive further. So my motorcycle is already pretty big, and it's, but there's things about an even bigger one that are better for long trips. It's heavier. You can stretch your feet out further. My motorcycle can really hurt after like 2 or 3 hours. It could really hurt. So I have to constantly check myself. Do I want a more expensive motorcycle because I want to show off? Or do I want it because it's going to make me happier because I'm going to do things I want to do? So for you, if you just love these cars so much and you just drool over them, or they'll take you further or whatever, then that's cool. I suspect that some of this is just like, oh yeah, it's badass. And, I don't know. And you would do a bunch of creative ventures that you've been wanting to do for a while. Why aren't you doing them? Why aren't you just doing your creative ventures? If you're saying if you had unlimited money, you just like to go waste it, okay, that's cool. But all my creative ventures cost zero in the beginning. My bands, even the restaurants. I mean, I came up with really creative ways to do them and come up with the money, and it was not a lot of money in the beginning. And, I could tell you that a bunch of money, unlimited money, is not the key to being fulfilled creatively and having successful ventures. That's just my advice to you. Kathy, you can actually sleep a full 8 hours? No, not always. Not always, no. But, it doesn't change any of this. If I happily wake up after 5 hours, all that does is give me a fuckload more time. It's going to be way more time, because you and I both know that I know what I'm doing with my day. You know what I mean? So if I do it backwards, let's just say I know that I'm going to have, even 4 to 7 hours of uninterrupted focus time on work. That still leaves. And I only sleep 4 hours that night because I just don't need it. I can do so much shit. It's insane. And I mean fun shit. Let's see. Kathy, if you had a lot of money, you'd probably still work the job just you could get out of the house. Working from home was terrible for me. I hear that. What I try to focus on too, guys, when it comes to work and all this kind of stuff, is I try to make sure that everything I'm working on is something that I love. And that's just me. I know not everyone has the luxury of having a job that they love and all this kind of stuff. I can tell you that what I do in art, being a professional artist and like entrepreneur, it is not easy. and there are times where, professional artists and stuff, we don't make money for months at a time. So it's extremely, it's difficult. And that's, to me, it's worth it because I just want to be my own master of my own destiny. And I want to directly work with the people that love what I do, like you guys. So it's really, really important to me. But it is not for everyone. It is not for everyone. And this thing will still work because most jobs are 8 hours. Most. I know there's changes, guys. I'm not saying these are not fucking rules, okay? Most jobs are 8 hours. So it doesn't change much. This is all the extra. And this is 8 hours and this is 3 hours. So sometimes there's an hour to get home and an hour to get there. Okay. Guys, okay, I'm just saying. Let's see. Yes, and studies show that people who view stress as a good thing have loosened blood cells and more released oxytocin, which is good for your heart. That's funny. People that view stress as a good thing. Yeah. Actually, meditation and all the other stuff that I do can actually help you look at stress differently. You can actually look at it as a positive. Kind of fucking interesting. And that is totally true. Dark life experience. I have a calendar like this. Dealing with my main job and running a small magazine. It's really, really hard. I totally hear you. And you do need a calendar to handle that stuff. Connectado YT. I don't understand 60%, but I like Ryan. You're really fucking funny. Let's see here. All right. So guys. Oh, Sean, I think Kathy Palatello worked for Elementary Records. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, maybe. Maybe she worked for Reprise, not Elementary. Eric and Emily Summers, I know it's off topic and you may not know yet, but do you think you guys will make it back to Florida one day? I always laugh at these questions when I get them. Guys, we tour for a living. I wouldn't be surprised if we were in Florida multiple times in the next year. So both bands. Just because one tour happens and a bunch of cities are left out doesn't mean that we're not going to come back to those cities. You can only do so much in a month or 40 days or so of touring, and they're routed a certain way. So we can't do a route and then blip off a day away and do this kind of stuff. You have to route through certain routes. And there's A market, B market, and C market routes. All right. So A market routes would be like all the major cities, LA, New York, Houston, Miami, those are all A markets. And then there's B and then there's C, and they connect in a unique way. So just keep in mind, we will be back to your city. We will come. And also keep in mind that the band doesn't choose what city we go to. The city chooses the band. The promoters book the band. So you guys can speak up and get your promoters at whatever club it is to book the band. That's how it works. So we don't actually call the cities and go, hey, can we come here? Can we come here? So yeah, we will definitely be in Florida, but Florida, because of its positioning in the US, is a unique route. So you just have to make that work. So is Seattle, Idaho, all that kind of stuff. So all those extremes, those are the trickier ones to get to, but we will be there. Definitely. And I love you too. And we can't wait to be there. Love you and your wife. Thank you. So, all right, guys, thank you so much for doing Wake the Fuck Up with Ryan. Hope that it was at least fun way to spend the morning. Not super early for all of you, but you guys in the West Coast, definitely a little bit early. This is always kind of fun for me because I get to share how fucking crazy I am. And yeah, so I'll see you guys throughout the week on social media, and I'll see you guys next weekend. I believe on Patreon, we have our acoustic cover with me and Amir. And you know what? We might replay last month's acoustic cover as well, which was who did we play last session? Don't look at me that way. Yeah, well, the connection was kind of weird, and I think that we should replay it. But let me see if we have time to rehearse it. So, if you want to see our acoustic cover, join us on Patreon. Support the band. Get your friends to support us, please. It helps us out immensely, and thank you guys so much. I love you guys. Thank you.